I want to thank you guys for coming to the call tonight. This is my weekly Here to Help You webinar. I think most of you have been here, but for those of you that may be watching through the replay that just joined my list that didn't know about these, I do these calls every week, and these are just mainly just for you guys. I come on and do some sort of little training or a demo of some sort. Then I answer questions that I got in emails, and then I take your guys' live questions after that. But again, like I said, these are all for you guys, so I encourage you to come to them every week. Send me questions during the week if you have questions that you want answered on the webinar, and I'll try to do my best to give you an answer right on the spot. Tonight, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to show you guys how to create a newsletter set. Now, we do have to drop out to desktop for that. We know that causes problems sometimes. So if it does, just if it causes your screen to go blank or you get disconnected or if I get disconnected, I'll try to stop and we'll come back in, see if we can get it going. But I'm going to try to do a straight shot recording of it. So if you do get a blank screen, you can't see it, just know that it's being recorded and you'll get to watch it in the replay. The reason why I wanted to do this training tonight is a lot of people, they want to start building a list, but they don't know what to use as far as emails or whatever, for content to build a list with. So most all of us have access to PLR, and most all of us have some sort of a PLR membership site somewhere that we can log into and get content. And I want to show you guys a little used resource that's in, I guess, every PLR membership site I'm a member of. I've seen it in every single one of them. I'm going to show you how to use that resource in a different way than what it's meant to be used. Then I'm going to show you an alternative method that I used with it and the results that I got with it. And I think you guys will be impressed by that when you see that. But again, like I said, we do have to drop to desktop for this, and sometimes that does cause us problems, but hopefully we won't have problems tonight. Okay, well, I'm going to give you guys a couple of links first before we get started. What we're going to be using for our content is some newsletter packages that are created by Lisa Cope. Some of you may be familiar with her. She creates a new PLR newsletter set. I guess every month she does it. In case you're not familiar with her, this is her main website where she sells them from. And then she has another website called PLR Junkies where she sells the resale rights to them. So that's the two websites that Lisa sells her newsletter sets from. And if you're not a member of any PLR membership sites, you can go to her websites there and buy them directly from her. But if you're a member of any, like I said, PLR Master Resale Rights membership site, most all of these have her courses in them, and they're usually added in there about as soon as she puts them on her website. So if you're a member of any of those, you really wouldn't have to go to her website and buy them. I'd only recommend going to her website to buy a copy if you're not a member and don't want to join a PLR membership site. I think she sells them for like $7, maybe $10 from her main website. Of course, the PLR Junkies, she charges a little more for them there because you get resale rights to them. But we're not particularly interested in resale rights for any of these to start with. Let me give you an example. I'm going to go to my resale rights weekly account here, and I'm going to show you what to look for. If you go into product search, and we'll do a search for the one I'm going to be working with tonight is on feline cats. And if we scroll down through here, the second one that comes up says caring for your feline. This is generally what it looks like, and hers will always have a spiral bound e-cover that goes along with them. But you can find these. It's like I said, she puts out one every single month, and as far as I know, Mark has every single one of them here in his membership site, and I'm sure Ryan has them in his as well. And like I said, I've seen them in just about every PLR membership site I belong to, so they're not hard to find. Like I said, if you're not a member of any of the membership sites and don't want to join one, you can go directly to the links that I gave you, and you can buy individual sets from her directly. But what I'm going to do is I've already downloaded this one, so you just download this one, and then the next thing you'd want to do is you want to find some sort of a matching template. So what I'm going to do next is search for cat templates. Of course, that finds all kinds of stuff. There's cats templates. So there's one at there, cat 714. I'm not sure if that's the one. I've already found one and downloaded it, but that's how you would find one. And of course, in Mark's site here, he's got a templates section where you can just go directly to the templates and just in your browser do a search for cats like this, and you can find every single one of them. So that's the first thing you want to do is you want to find one of her courses and then just find some sort of a matching template to use with it. And like I said, with this one, there just happens to be 4 different cat templates. Now, I'm not sure which one I downloaded, but I downloaded one of these from here. Okay, so that's the first step. We got to get the newsletter set to work with, and then you need some sort of a template to work with for creating your newsletter. So once you've downloaded it and you've extracted it, let's go to the one that I've downloaded here, and you've extracted it. Hers usually comes with, it's got 2 doc files in it. It's got the Word 2003 version and the Word 2007 version. Then she's got a doc file that has ClickBank ads in it. And then she has some extra content in here that you can add, to make them unique. They're really good packages what she has here. She does a really good job of writing these newsletters. They're not your typical PLR where it's boring to read. She does a really good job creating a good newsletter set for whatever the topic might be. So the next step, what you want to do is you want to convert this into an HTML file. So we'll open up the Word 2007 version or 2010, whichever one it is. I'm going to show you guys a trick for converting a doc file to HTML. Okay, so once it's loaded, at the very top of these doc files, she gives you instructions on how to edit them, with your autoresponder codes. These are really meant to be put in an autoresponder series itself, but I'm going to show you a different method for using them that I've been using with other niches, and people seem to really like them. I get a lot of comments on them from doing it this way. But after you've got the Word doc file loaded, you just take and highlight each one of the messages one at a time like this. And of course, you don't really have to get that last part out. Just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to grab it, just highlight one of the messages and copy it. And then we're going to go to another website called Convert Word to HTML. Now you can save a Word file as an HTML, but if you've ever done that, it always takes and Word adds a whole bunch of extra HTML comments in there, and it just some web browsers just can't handle all the extra comments that Word inserts into its HTML. So the best thing to do is go to this website here I found called wordtocleanhtml.com, and I'll give you guys a link to this. And once you've got the content highlighted, just copy it into here or paste it into here and just click Convert to Clean HTML. It takes it a second to do it. And then once it's converted, it strips out all the extra Word formatting things in there, and you can just go down here and you can click Copy HTML to Clipboard. It tells you to press Control C. So now we've got the message converted into HTML format. So the next thing we want to do is we want to go into Composer, and we want to open up the template that we downloaded. So we'll open that right now. This is the template that I downloaded from my PR membership site that I belong to. It's a really simple template. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click here in this box. I'm going to go to Edit and then Paste Without Formatting. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Shoot, let me back up here. I'm going to go to Insert and then HTML. That's what I meant to say. Then do a paste, then insert. Okay, so now what it's done is created an HTML file out of this. And of course, I would want to go through here and, make this look a little bit better, format it a little bit. Like I would delete that right there. And I would delete that. And just do a little bit of formatting. Maybe center that, make that an H1 tag. And just go through here and format a little bit, and then I would probably go back to her resource file here and get a couple of these ClickBank ads and copy one of them and put it here next to the bottom, like probably here in this section. I would probably insert one of the ClickBank ads right here in this section. Then once I've done that, I would just click File and then Save As, because I don't want to overwrite my template, and I'll call it message1.html. And I would just do this, like I said, in this newsletter set. She has 12 different messages, so I would do this 11 more times, create an individual HTML page out of each one of those messages. Like I said, go through there and spend about 5-10 minutes cleaning this up, making it look nice. In fact, let's look at the first one just to see what it looks like. Oops, it's under template. So even with just that little bit of formatting I done right there, that looks fairly decent. Of course, like I said, I need to do a little bit more formatting to it, because it's formatted as a message for an autoresponder series right now. So I'd want to go in, and take out some of these extra line breaks, and let the paragraphs extend on out past 65 characters. I think they're already formatted for 65 characters. Maybe go to one of the royalty-free websites and get some images to go along with this, just to insert in here occasionally and spice it up. But then what I would do is go to my autoresponder series, and the very first message I'd say, newsletter 1 is ready for you now. Here is the link. If you have problems viewing this, email me and I'll send you a PDF version of it. And it's up to you if you want to create the PDF versions of them or not. But if you do want to create the PDF versions, once you've got the newsletter set pulled up into Word, you can easily copy each one of them to a separate document and just save them out as a PDF as well. And you could also include that as a link in the email if you wanted to. But I generally like to send people to the web page, is what I like to do, because it just looks nicer than an autoresponder message. And like I said, you can add images in here. Then down here at the very bottom, you could use one of the ClickBank ads that Lisa gives you to use, that goes right along with this niche. Now, like I said, I've done this with several different niches. I've used lots of her newsletter sets and created newsletters like this, and I always get lots of positive feedback on them, because they just look so much nicer than a regular email that somebody would get. And you could also take us a step further and use these messages as content for a membership site. If you wanted to do that, they're not a whole lot of content in here that would be a full membership site, but it would be a good start for one. You could maybe combine 2 of the messages together to make a good lesson, which in this case would wind up being 6 lessons that you could deliver out once a week for 6 weeks. Now, I told you I wanted to show you an alternative method of how you could use her newsletter sets. And what I did with one, I did this back in December. So I took one of them and created PowerPoint slides out of it and just recorded myself on a video reading those slides and created videos out of it. And then I uploaded it to Udemy, which Udemy is a place where you can upload video courses and audio courses, and people will enroll to take the courses, and then you can charge for them or you can give them away to build a list, which is what I did. I gave my course away for free just to build a list. But this is the one I did, and it's again another one of Lisa's newsletter sets. It was called Cash for Content. If you do a search in any of the PLR membership sites, you'll find the same exact newsletter set. And all I did was just go through here and just add some videos, images to it, and put it into a PowerPoint, and then turned it into videos. Now, how successful was it? Let me show you guys, and this is the part you're really going to be surprised about right here. Give it a second to load up here. As you can see right here, the 3,722 people have taken this course over on Udemy. And what I did is on the very last lesson that I recorded, I broke it down. The one I had was 10 lessons, and I combined 2 lessons to make, or 2 newsletters to make 1 lesson. So I ended up with 5 lessons out of it. And on the 5th lesson, I've got a link to my regular internet marketing newsletter for people to sign up. Out of these 3,722 people that have taken this course, I've had roughly about a third of them people to sign up to my mailing list. And this didn't cost me anything. It doesn't cost you anything to list a course over on Udemy. Now, like I said, I did this one totally for free. I could go in here now, since I've got so many people that's taken this course, and I've gotten so many positive reviews. As you see, I've had 27 reviews on it, and it's rating at 4.5, which is the highest you can go is 5, so it's getting really good reviews as well. I could go in here now and put a price tag on it, say $7 or $10, and start making sales from it. But I'm continuing to use it as a list builder, because like I said, about 1 out of 3 people that takes this course and they get to the 5th lesson, they generally sign up for my regular mailing list. But it all started, like I said, was by going to a PLR membership site or to one of Lisa's websites and downloading one of her newsletter sets and creating a HTML version of the newsletter, using a template that's themed around the same niche, and then uploading it to my website. And then, like I said, from there you just create a simple message that tells the person that's signing up for your list that the next newsletter is ready, and give them a link to go to the HTML page. And like I said, it's optional. You can have a link to a PDF if you wanted to save them off to PDF, because you can, with Word, you can pull up an HTML file and then save it off to PDF. And Word does a fairly good job of converting HTML to PDF. But then, like I said, the next step, what you could do if you wanted to take it to the next level, is do what I did and take those newsletter sets and create PowerPoint slides out of them, and just record yourself reading the slides, and then create a Udemy course like I did here and upload it to Udemy. Let me give you guys the link to this Word to Clean HTML, because and of course I'll have all these links on the replay page as well. There's the link to convert a Word file to HTML, and like I said, it strips out all of that extra comments that Word puts into creating HTML. For most browsers have problems with the HTML files created with Word, and that website there, it's totally free, does a great job of stripping all that out and creating a good clean HTML that you can use. Ken says, what do you use for video? I use Camtasia. I bought Camtasia when it was out in version 4, I believe it was, and I've upgraded it to, I think I've stayed up with the upgrades to version 7. I haven't gotten version 8 yet, because version 8 requires so much more processor and memory, and I've stayed with version 7. But you can also use Cam Studio, and also another great program, and I think I gave this to you Inner Circle guys last week, was the Faststone Capture. Let me see if I can get that link for you guys. Okay, here's another link to this program here. Will do screen captures and record videos, and it's really cheap. It's like $30 for it, and that's, there's no affiliate program, so I don't get anything out of that. But that program does a really good job of creating videos as well. It doesn't do as a lot as far as editing them, so you'd still need to pull them up in like Windows DVD Movie Maker or something like that, or if you have Camtasia, you can edit them in Camtasia. Jing, like Roy's saying, has a free one, but it limits you to 5 minutes. But again, the thing with Jing is it doesn't have an editor in it either, so you'd still, unless you can do a straight shot video and not make any mistakes, which I don't know anybody that can do that. I know I can't do it. When I do these replays, I go back through these and cut out all kinds of little mistakes that I make in these replays. But that's the only thing about both Jing and Faststone is, they don't have any editing capabilities. They just will do the recording for you. But you can, if you can't afford to get Camtasia, you can get Cam Studio. You can find Cam Studio in a whole bunch of places, and it's totally free that will do some editing for you. Screencast-O-Matic is another one. I hadn't used that one in a while, so I had forgotten about that. Screencast-O-Matic does a great job. There's several places that you can get, free video screen recording. But like I said, that's just the extra step if you wanted to go that route of, creating, an actual video course and putting it on Udemy and use it as a list builder, or, using it as something that you want to sell, because they will sell it for you, and I think they charge 20%. I believe is what they charge, 20% of the sale. So if you sold something over for $10, you'd get $8 out of it, which, is not bad. You could do just like I'm doing there and put it up for free to get a whole bunch of people enrolled into it and getting some positive reviews, and then start charging for it, and you would start selling quite a few of them because they would see quite a few people that have taken the course. So, it would be a good positive result for people, just thinking about buying the course. And also Udemy does, if you do decide to sell it over there, they do a lot of promotion for you. They're constantly running coupon deals where they're giving discounts on the courses over there. So, they even help promote it for you. It's kind of like the Amazon of video tutorials is basically what it is. And I've seen people that take, like these PLR video courses that came out, like the one we just recently got a couple weeks ago. I guarantee you somebody has that over on Udemy right now. You don't have to be the original creator. They like for you to have original content, but you don't have to have, be the original creator of it. So it's real easy to add, an intro or an outro, lead in or out segment to a video, and it creates it as unique content. And Udemy will accept it if you do that. Yeah, Jen, they do allow PLR, but you do have to edit it, like I said, add some sort of an intro to it, or an outro video, an exit to it, just to make it unique. Because what they do like YouTube does. If you upload a PLR video to YouTube and you don't change it any at all, and you want to make it public viewable, YouTube will scan through their database and see that if somebody else has uploaded that same exact video, they'll call it duplicate content, and they'll still let you upload it, but they won't show it. It won't be showed in their search results. Of course, Udemy won't let you even upload it if they do the same thing. They somehow can scan through their database of uploaded videos, and if they see the same video has been uploaded more than once, and they won't allow the second one. But that's where, like I said, if you just add some sort of a little intro to it, a good example of what I did with that, and I've got a second course over on Udemy that's in the process. I've not got it finished yet. I bought the PLR rights to the Sean Mice trainings, and I took several of his MP3s and I created PowerPoint slides to go along with them and turned them into videos. And then I created an intro video that goes along with them to just to make them unique in case somebody else did the same exact thing. Now I've got 3 of them uploaded there now. I still don't have the course finished. I haven't had time to go back and finish it, so it's a course that I'm still working on. But that's another method you can use, is taking MP3s and just create some sort of a PowerPoint to go along with them, and just just let it play and just sit there and just hit the arrow key as Sean's talking. Is all I did, just hit the arrow key slide, to move to the next slide, and as he would go on to a new topic in the MP3s. It's one of the things you need to learn to do with PLR. If you buy PLRs, just there's multiple ways of using it. I mean, you need to try to really repurpose it as many ways as you possibly can. Most people just take PLR and about the most they'll do to it is stick their own buy button on it, and maybe their name on the sales page, and stick it up for sale. And that's just the totally wrong way to use PLR material. I gave you 2 great examples tonight of what I did with it, and then, like I said, you can take another example of it is to take and create those into PDF transcripts from those videos. You can upload a PLR video that you've added an intro to it to YouTube, and you can go back 24 hours later. If you have a PLR video that you don't have the transcripts to go along with it, you can go back 24 hours later and YouTube will create a closed caption annotation of that video, and you can download that text and then create your PDF, your Word doc, and convert it to PDF from that closed caption that YouTube creates for you automatically. Now, it's not 100% perfect. You do have to go back in and make sure that they didn't get some of the words wrong, or maybe the sentences aren't formatted right. So you might spend a little bit of time creating a decent document out of it, but that's a way of creating transcripts for free. If you can't afford to pay for get somebody to do real transcripts. In fact, I think just last week Todd Gross was selling a program that will actually do that for you. But what it does, that program that Todd was selling, it goes and finds other videos that you can get them closed caption annotations from it and create PDF and Word doc files from other people's videos. But you could use that same program to do it with yours, I guess, if you wanted to. But there's really no need for it. I mean, it does make it easier, I guess, using Todd's little program. But you could do it yourself. Just go into your video channel and go into the editing of the video and go into the closed caption tab. And then there's all the text. You just have to highlight it all and copy it and then paste it into a Word doc file. We're seeing study the rights that come with your PLR package. Different packages have different rights, even though they are PLR. Yeah, that's one thing you do have to watch is some people will put in their PLR rights that you're not allowed to use it as web content, and that is a problem when you run into one that says that. Luckily, Lisa's didn't say any of that on any of hers. She pretty much just gives you unrestricted rights to hers. So, and like I said, Lisa has courses on just about anything you can think of. If you join her membership site, she's got the whole list of them that you can get from her directly. But like I said, if you're a member of any PLR membership site at all, almost all of her courses are there. So it's just kind of hard sometimes to determine which one is hers or not. But the best way I have found to find hers is they always have that same familiar look to them. It's a 3D ebook that's spiral bound. And of course, like I said, you can go to her website and maybe get the ideas for something to look for. I think she may have a free access to her website. I'm not positive on it. She did have. I'm not sure if she still does or not. If you can get a free membership site with her, then you can go in there and see the titles that she has. Then you can go to, like I said, the PLR membership sites and search for those titles. But she has newsletters on just about everything. Now you could do the same thing with the article sets. The only thing with article sets is a lot of times the articles are not very good quality. I've run into that a lot where it's, I guess there are articles that are written in like a research type mode, and they're just kind of boring to read, and you really wouldn't want to use those for a newsletter. They could maybe be a part of a newsletter, but they couldn't be the whole newsletters like Lisa's. messages that she writes are. She does a really good job, like I said, of making them really entertaining and, you know, interesting to read. So, that's why I like to use hers whenever I'm going to do this, because I know she does a good job of writing good content. Now, there's some places that you can go to and get, unique PLR that's, not been circulated a lot. It usually costs more to get that, and you can maybe consider using those. But like I said, she's got so many of them out there. It's you'd never be able to use all of them that she's had. She's been doing this since about 2009, I guess. So she's got like what 5 years worth of 5 years worth. So it'd be about 60 of them out there. So there's lots of them available. And there for a while she was doing a couple a month too. So there's probably about 100 of them available. But anyway, that's what I wanted to show you guys. And like I said, I'm big on repurposing PLR. I try to use it as many ways as possible, and that's a good use I found. Like I said, every newsletter set that I've created like that and created an autoresponder series out of it, the people that subscribe to get to them, they always respond back positive with them. That it's a lot more interesting to read than just getting a plain email. So it's something to consider doing. It don't take just a few minutes, as you've seen. It didn't take me 10 minutes to create, a message out of that. And, out of 12 messages, I might have, a couple hours invested in it and have, good 6 to 12 weeks worth of content that I could use for a newsletter. Yes, what did you use to make the page? I use Composer. It's a free HTML editor. You could use just about any HTML editor you wanted to. Coffee Cup makes a good one, although Coffee Cup is only free for the first 30 days, but Coffee Cup is a really good one. It's better than Composer in my opinion, but it's not free after 30 days. You have to pay for it. But Composer is totally free. You can get that. Just go search for, it's Kompozer. Yes, it says, do you use any WordPress plugin to make the sales letter? No, generally with Lisa's, I didn't show you guys that, but with Lisa's newsletter set, she gives you a squeeze page to use for them. And what I usually do is just take that and tweak it a little bit and use the squeeze page that she gives with them. But she provides us a squeeze page that goes along with them, so you pull it up in Composer as well and just make some minor edits to it. Sometimes I use the graphic that come with it, but most of the time I don't even use the graphic that come with it. I just put just the plain text in there and give a couple of the titles of some of the messages. Usually use like three titles of the messages, and that's generally all I do with them. Just use the ones that she gives me. Where do you outsource the graphics to good quality and not too expensive? The best place I found is Fiverr for getting graphics really cheap. There's people on the Warrior Forum that will create mini sites for you really cheap. Average from about $30 to $50 for a complete mini site. But if you're just wanting an ebook graphic or a header or something like that, you can go to Fiverr and get them real cheap. Now the template I was showing you guys there, like I said, I found that just searching for templates over on the Resale Rights Weekly membership site. He has tons and tons of templates in there on just about any topic you can think of. So I just downloaded one from there to create the newsletter with. But if you want cheap graphics, you can go to Fiverr, and there's lots of places over there where people are selling graphics, headers, and ebook covers and things like that for $5. Which PR membership are you mentioning that have templates? PLR of Lisa. Just about all PLR membership sites have her content. The one I've been a member of for the last 5 years or so is Resale Rights Weekly. Ryan Evans' monthly content also has it. You can get with Roy. Roy can get you a really good deal on getting into monthly content. If you want to, try monthly content, I think they've got like a dollar trial for a month, I believe, something like that. Maybe totally free. I'm not sure. Anyway, you can get with Roy. You can send me an email and I'll send you Roy's link to that if you want to try it. But just about all PLR membership sites have her content. Okay, well, let's answer the questions from the emails, then I'll take some more of your guys' questions. I got 3 questions this week. The first one says, you seem to prefer HTML websites instead of WordPress. Is there a reason why? Yeah, I guess I do kind of favor HTML websites over WordPress. And the only reason why is because I started out as a network administrator, HTML webmaster when I first started working in the internet. And there wasn't no WordPress. There was Blogger hadn't even been created back then. So I learned to do HTML coding from Notepad. There wasn't even any HTML editors back then. So I just learned to do HTML and PHP and database programming back in the early days from, writing it straight from code. And I just gotten used to it. Um, I can do more with HTML than I can with WordPress. Now, I do like WordPress in that it's easy to set up. If I want to set up a niche website, and I, don't want to invest all the time into creating the website, I'll throw up a WordPress site and get get a theme in that niche, and just go with that. And WordPress has so many plugins, that will do so many cool things, and that would take me a while to do in PHP. So I do use WordPress for quick niche sites that I put up, but I generally do prefer HTML over it. And it's mainly because it's just something I learned a long time ago, how to code in HTML and PHP. So it's just something I just like to do. And it's not that I have anything against WordPress. The only thing, if I had anything against WordPress, is it's really hard for me to get a sales page to look the way I want it to look in WordPress. I've found a couple of plugins that work good for coming close, but I've not found anything that works exactly like HTML does yet. But I have found a couple that are pretty close. The next question says, why does most programs and scripts require MySQL? The reason why they require MySQL is because the content from the program or the script is getting information from a database, and MySQL is the server software that will handle the database info and send it out as a query to a website script. It's usually used because there's dynamic content that's used over and over and over again in the website, and it's just easier to store it into a database and have PHP or ASP or C calls to that database to pull out the information as it's needed. And of course it's also used to store information as well, like if you're doing an e-commerce site where you're taking orders, or you're doing some sort of a website where people log in and upload content, or in the case of like a blog is based on a database. A WordPress blog is based on a database. All the information is stored in a database. They're kind of hard for newbies, I guess, to figure out, how to deal with MySQL and database, even though, there is quite a few video tutorials out there. It shows you how to use cPanel to create MySQL databases and use PHP admin. It's still a little techy for most people, and when it comes to having to actually create a database, a lot of people struggle with that. And there is some good, there's some good video tutorials that shows you how to use MySQL and PHP admin. So if you're struggling with getting those set up, and most of the hosting companies now, if you go to their FAQ section or support section on most hosting companies, they'll have good video tutorials on how to use MySQL. But that's the reason why they use this, because they have information that's stored in a database that's used in various places in the website, and usually it's because it's repetitive content that's used over and over again. And then the last question I got, and somebody just asked just a few minutes ago, what do you use for editing graphics? I use Photoshop most of the time. I also have PaintShop Pro. I use PaintShop Pro when I gotta create graphics really quick. You can go to eBay and search for PaintShop Pro 7. That's the version that I use. It's it's a really old program, probably 2001, 2002 is when it came out, something like that. But if you need to create something really quick, PaintShop Pro is great for doing that. You can probably get it over on eBay for like $10. Um, there's also, other ones that you can use. Paint.net has a good uh, online version, and I have a couple of links to some other graphics programs you can use. GIMP is a good substitute for Photoshop if you can't afford Photoshop. Photoshop is a little bit expensive. Of course, now Adobe's got a monthly subscription now for, I think, for $9 a month you can get every program they have. And, it's just $9 a month, which makes it really affordable to everybody now. So, but that's what I use most of the time is Photoshop and PaintShop Pro, and I've got standalone versions of both of those. I don't have the monthly subscription to Adobe, although I probably should get it because I run into some PSDs here lately that I can't open with the version of Photoshop that I have. But for most things that I do, the Photoshop that I have version 7, I believe it is, of Photoshop that I use. And for most things, it works great. But I have run into some here lately that won't open in that version. I've had to get somebody else to edit those for me when I've run across that. That's the questions that I got in emails this week. Okay, do you guys have any questions on the presentation we had tonight or anything else? Doesn't matter if it's on the presentation or it can even be something from 2 or 3 weeks ago. Jen's want to know what is easy to use to edit video. Like I said, what I use most of the time for editing video is Camtasia, since I bought Camtasia. And guys, you can get Camtasia for free for 30 days. You can get the full version. I mean, it's totally unrestricted for 30 days for free. And if you use it right, if you like to share the examples I gave earlier in the presentation, you could easily make the money to pay for a Camtasia within that 30 days. You just have to apply yourself and do it 2 or 3 times, within that 30 days. And I guarantee you can make enough money to buy a Camtasia. The second best thing to use would be the video editing programs that come within Windows would be the next choice. I'm not sure what comes with a Mac. I don't have a Mac, but I'm sure Mac has some sort of a built-in video editing program too. And then, of course, like I said, you can get Cam Studio. Cam Studio is totally free, but it's a pretty old program, but it still yet works for editing video. Most of the time, what you're going to be doing when you're editing video is just cutting out mistakes. So you just need something that can highlight sections and just crop them out is all you really need. Um, if you have any kind of program that can create DVDs, uh, that'll work. You can get those at like Office Depot and even Walmart and places like that. You can get video DVD creation programs. You could use one of those for editing video. But I would suggest anybody invest the money into Camtasia because it's definitely worth the money. Like I said, I bought it when it first came out in version 4, and I've kept it updated till they came out with version 8, and I haven't upgraded it. I'm still at version 7. I haven't seen the need for version 8 yet. And if I ever get into doing green screens, I would probably want to use version 8 because it has the green screen capability built into version 8, whereas it's a little hard to do it in version 7, but I don't do that much green screen. I very rarely ever do it. Dana says, do they ever make specials on Camtasia? They do around Christmas. So considering we're getting ready to come up on Christmas time, you may see a discount for Christmas season. That's about the only time I see them, though, is around Christmas. But I think, and here's another little trick you guys can use to get Camtasia really cheap. If you have a friend or a relative that's going to college that has a student ID, they can buy up to 5 copies of Camtasia for $85 at the student rate. And that's like less than a third of the price. So if you know anybody that's going to college that has a student ID, you can get them to order you a copy of Camtasia at the student discount rate. And of course, there's a lot of different software you can get at student discount rates. can't remember the website that I go to for that, but there's a website you can go, softwareacademy.com, I believe it is. I'm not really sure. I'd have to look it up. It's in my bookmarks. But you can get all kinds of different programs at student discounts if you got a student ID card. Okay, well, we're running right at about an hour. I didn't want to keep you guys too long tonight. Want to thank you for coming. If there's no other questions, I guess we'll go ahead and call it a night. I want to thank everybody that participated in our product launch last week. We didn't do as well as I'd hoped we'd do, but we did do fairly well. So we'll have a little bit of money to work for our ad co-op, and like I said, I'm going to kick in some extra to make it a little bit better for everybody. I want to thank everybody that did participate and help with that. We're going to keep running it until the 15th. So, there's still plenty of time if somebody wants to get in on it, or if you want to promote it and help us build up a little bigger pool, that would be great. But I want to thank everybody that did help so far, because like I said, the whole idea behind it was for me to help you guys get started with ad co-ops so you can see what a good one is really like and how they work. But thanks for coming again tonight, guys. I appreciate you coming here on Monday nights. Wednesday night, we'll have another live class in our inner circle. We're going to be talking about traffic this week, and then I've got another special announcement for you inner circle guys, and I'll tell you about that Wednesday night. But thanks again for coming tonight, guys. Appreciate it. Y'all have a great week.